Hello, this is Jamo's bass player. Today's lessons will be on chords, part 1. From the beginning, we take it from the beginner's perspective. First of all, you have to know your major scale, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So I'm using key G. So with the keys, it will be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, N. Back to your G. Also, you have to also know that with the major scale, how are you going to play the major scale on the strings or on the string board. You have to also know your intervals, the intervals in the major scale degrees on one string and also on 3 strings downwards and upwards, or on 4 strings downwards and also upwards. So how to play your major scale on one string, knowing the intervals that from Do to Re is a full tone or a whole tone, then from Re to Mi to is a whole tone or your full tone, then Mi to Fa is a half tone or your semitone, then Fa to So is also your whole tone or your full tone, then So to La is your whole tone or your full tone, then La to Ti is your whole tone or your full tone, then Ti to back to Do is your semitone or your half tone. And with this, you are good to go. You understand what I'm about to demonstrate with the chords from the beginner's perspective. Okay, now also how to play the major scale from one string to the 3rd string or the 4th string and beyond. You have to also know that using the E string is Do, Re, then the A string it will be Mi, Fa, So. You get it? Then the D string will be La, Ti, Do. Then if I want to extend the major scale to 4 string or 5 string, here we are left with 1 string to be Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, Ti, Do. Back to G. So Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, Ti, Do, Do, Ti, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Ti, La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do. Don't also forget that I'm using key G. Everything that I'll be teaching here based on key G, it will be based on key G. You get it? So now I'm teaching the chords on key G, but you have to also remember that you have to know your major scale degrees, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Talking about the solfa notations, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. So you have 7 solfa notations, but the 8th will be your 1, still be your 1, which is the higher octave and the lower octave. So Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, then back to your 1, Do. So now you have to know that chord is also a combination of 3 notes, but here I will use the root and the 3rd of every major scale degree for you to understand it from the beginner's perspective to pro. So now, though we know that chord is a combination of 3 notes, but now we are using only 2 notes, which is the root and the 3rd of every scale. Oh, sorry, root and the 3rd of every degree. So now with chord 1, we use the root and also the 3rd. So Do, Mi for chord 1, Re, Fa for chord 2, Mi, So for chord 3, Fa, La for chord 4, So, Ti for chord 5, La, Do for chord 6, Ti, Re for chord 7, and back to your 1, Do, Mi. So let me show you how I use the root and the 3rd of every degree of the major scale. So with the 1st degree, we have 1 and 3. The reason why we have 1 and 3 is that 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi. So with the chord 1, you have to skip the 2, which is the re or the second degree. Do, re, mi. So now we have to skip the 2. So now it will be do, mi. So now we have skipped the 2. So 1, 2, 3. So now for you to get the root and the third of the first degree, now you have to skip the re. So now it will be do, mi. So now we are through the first degree, which is the root and the third of the first degree. Now we are going to the second degree. The second degree will be re, mi, fa. The root now, the root for the second degree now is re, and the third is fa. So you have to skip the mi. So re, mi, fa. You skip the second of the second degree. So re, mi, fa. You skip the mi here in the second degree. So now we get root and third for the second degree, which is mi, fa. Now we are going to the third degree. It is mi, fa, so, mi, fa, so. So now the mi for the third degree becomes the root and the so becomes the third. So now you skip the fa, mi, fa, so. You skip the second of the third degree. So now it becomes so. Now we are going to the fourth degrees. Fa, so, la. You skip the second of the fourth degree, which is the fa, so, la, which is the so. So now you get fa, la for the fourth degree, which is the root. The fa becomes the root and the la becomes the third. Now we are going to the fifth degree. It is so, so, la, ti, so, la, ti. Now you skip the second of the fifth degree. 1, 2, 3. So root, the so becomes the root and your ti becomes your third. Skipping the la. So la, ti. Let me take it again. So la, ti. You skip the la, then you have so ti for the fifth degree. Now we are going to the sixth degree. La, ti, do, la, ti, do. You skip. Now your la becomes your sixth degree. Now your sixth degree becomes your root. Then your do becomes your third. La, ti, do. 1, 2, 3 for the sixth degree. 1, 2, 3 la, which is la, ti, do. For you to get your root and your third of the sixth degree, you have to skip the ti. So now we have root for the sixth, which is the la, and the third for the sixth, which is the do. So la, do. Then we are going to the seventh degree. We have ti, re, fa, ti, re, fa. So your ti becomes your root, then your fa becomes your ti, re, fa. Sorry, la, ti, do, re, ti, do, re. Sorry, ti, do, re. So your seventh degree will be ti, do, re, ti, do, re, ti, do, re. So now your ti becomes your root for the seventh degree, then your re becomes your third for the seventh degree. So you skip the do, ti, do, re for the seventh degree. So you skip the 1, 2, 3 ti, do, re. Then you skip the do, which is the second of the seventh degree. So ti, do, re. You skip the do, then you have ti, re. So in all, the first degree, its root and third is do, mi. The second degree, its root and third is re, fa. The third degree, its root and third is mi, so. The fourth degree, its root and third is fa, la. The fifth degree, its root and third is so, ti. The sixth degree, its root and third is la, do. The seventh degree, its root and third is ti, re. Then back to your 1, do, mi. So let me start from the top. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, so. Fa, la, so, ti, la, do, ti, re, do, mi. re, fa, mi, do, re, ti, do, la, ti, so, la, fa, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do, re, ti, do. You have to practice how to play it from the top to the down with the root and third of every degree of the major scale. With this, we are good to go. With this, we'll be able to know how to play the chords from the beginner's perspective using the root and third of every degree of the major scale, which is the solfa notations, which is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and back to your do. Now, we are come to learn how to practice or demonstrate the root and the third on the string or on the string board or on the baseboard. With that, we have to use your first with that you have to use your middle finger and your ring finger. So now with the first degree will be do and mi, each root and third will do mi. First of all, you have to know that your major scale with 4 string or 3 strings do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. At least in our initial teaching or in our initial demonstration, you have to know how to play them major scale on 1 string and also on 3 and 4 or 5 string and beyond. So on 1 string, you have to know that your interval from the first degree to the second degree, then third degree, whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, semitone, whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, and semitone. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So now, no, for us to demonstrate the root and the third on the baseboard with the major scale degree, you have to know that this is G. I'm using key G to do the demonstration for the root and the third of every scale of the major scale. So now, no, you have to know that with the middle finger, do, then get your mi here. You shouldn't play like this. Do, mi, so that at least it will sound like a chord. So do, mi, then from your first degree, you are going to the first degree, you are going to the second degree. Re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, so, ti, la, do, ti, re, do, mi, do, re, ti, do, la, ti, so, la, fa, so, mi, fa, re, do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, so, ti, la, do, ti, re, do, mi, do, re, ti, do, la, ti, so, la, fa, so, mi, fa, re, mi, do. So with this, you'll be able to start learning chords from the beginner's perspective using the root and the third of the degrees of the major scale, which is the do, re, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Talking about solfa notation. With this, we are good to go. Thank you. Don't forget to comment on my YouTube page, my Instagram page, and also my TikTok page. Try to comment, try to subscribe, and follow me and know how we'll be able to build